Hello, SquirrelTribe 2.0. Long time no see, talk, whatever you want to call it. How you guys doing? Hopefully everybody's good. So it's been an interesting couple of days. There's the dog, Maxie Poo. Hi, how are you? You're adorbs. His groom's still a couple weeks out, but he's still working from the last groom. But if you hear him, listen. I don't know if you can hear him walking away. We still haven't cut his claws, toenails. I don't know what they're called on dogs because they're not toes, right? So it's not really toenails, but he still sounds all clacky. And every time he walks, I think of the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park every single time, which then makes me want to go watch Jurassic Park every single time. So anyway, that's where I'm living right now. Also have something in my eyeball. Okay, so let's just go into everything that has transpired in the last couple of days. Numero uno, the man is still not cured. All right, let me put it to you like that. It has been an ordeal that has been non-freaking stop. So for those of you who've been here, you're going to understand this. If you haven't been here, you probably need to watch like 5 videos, the last 5 videos, because I don't have time to like smush it all together for you. But he just ended his third round of antibiotics. The first 2 were given to him the first one was by urgent care. They gave him the staph antibiotics. Then the doctor he went to gave him another dose of staph antibiotics. Then the dermatologist he went to gave him something completely different, a 30-day thing there's like 100 milligrams of whatever per day for 30 days, right? And he just stopped those, I want to say 4 or 5 days ago. So those are still in his system. Now, the initial ones, the staph ones, whatever those antibiotics were, they're out of his system. And I can tell that they are out of his system because things are clearing up that I am 1000% convinced occurred because of a reaction to those antibiotics. So then the last antibiotics he was on, I think is also why he still has like the all over itch feel. He feels itchy like everywhere, right? And we've done every single little bit of work humanly possible to figure out what's going on with him. Like he went to the dermatologist, did all this stuff. They came back with some psoriasis stuff, which there's no way it's what do they call it? Psoriatic arthritis? No, it's definitely not that. We didn't take the Otezla that they prescribed to him. None of that stuff. We're not doing any of that. We're going holistic, whatever, as much as humanly possible first and trying everything else, right? So I told him, I said, okay, we're going to do no bread. We're going to do as little processed food as possible. He still eats rice or whatever, but if it's pasta, it's organic. But even then it's got gluten. And I'm like, maybe it's a gluten thing for you. We've cut down on dairy significantly. He's had maybe 3 drinks in the last month, whatever like that. We're trying all these different things, right? But he's still itchy. And I got him I showed you guys before the beef tallow, not body wash, but the soap, the bar, right? And then he's been using that the last couple days. And I'm guaranteeing that is helping because some of the little spots that were popping up that look like eczema, basically, we think it's like a form of eczema. Those little things that were popping up have started to go away. The places that were itching are no longer itching. And now it's just like that general sense of like your skin feels dry kind of itch, you know? So between that and, the antibiotics hopefully moving the way out of his system soon, I think he will be good after that. He's supposed to go back to the dermatologist on the 27th in a week. And he's like, I don't know if I want to go because like, one, he has to go in there and be like, I didn't listen to anything else said the first time, didn't take any of the drugs y'all prescribed to me. I don't want to do any of this. And then of course, what are they going to do then? Just be like, oh, well, that's still the route we think you need to go, whatever. So we're not sure yet if he's going to go back to them or not. I told him that, obviously I'm not a doctor. He's not a doctor. We're doing all of this through research, through, Grok and through the books, y'all. These books that I got a while ago that we've been working through. This one here, okay, the Home Apothecary. And then this one, the Holistic Guide to Wellness. Been going through these like crazy. So we're looking to get black walnuts, to make this little thing, but it says it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to make, isn't the word, steep might be the right word, although I think that's for teas. That, and then St. John's wort and some other things that we've been looking into that I'm like, all right, so we need to go to Whole Foods has a lot of these things. So we'll probably go there or Farmer's Market, on Saturday. to get some of these things to attempt that to see if different things will work. But I did go to Whole Foods already, and get him an aloe leaf. This thing is juicy feeling, number one. Number two, they have little thorn thingies on them, which I didn't realize when I picked it up at Whole Foods. Y'all seen my sweatshirt and my t-shirt where it says swearing helps? Yeah, I put that into effect when I grabbed this thing like a dumbass, and it did not feel good. But I did get an aloe leaf, so we'll be cutting the tip off of this thing later. We're going to circumcise the aloe leaf and then go with this on the places that itch, right? And see how that helps. But that's where we are. For everybody who has been curious what's up with my husband, the initial places on his body that started everything, which was literally one spot and then like another little spot next to it, the bug bite itself from the yellow fly in friggin' April or May of this year, that started everything. Those cleared up after the initial 2 things of the staph antibiotics were out of his system. Everything got worse when he took those antibiotics. And I am going to guarantee, which I don't know why I didn't think of this before, I can almost guarantee that the antibiotic that the dermatologist put him on and the antibiotics that he was on for the staph, I guarantee you they probably have a similar ingredient between the 2 of them. And that may be why he's continuously not getting better all the way, because of said ingredient. I bet money. Okay, so that's him. Okay, that's where we are with him. Now me, we're going to get all this other stuff later. You'll notice lay Bible, and then I'm very bad at pointing. Barnes & Noble's back there. These two things. This is why I can't do my hair. In case anybody's curious, looking behind me and trying to figure things out, it's why I can't curl my hair or do any of that kind of stuff. And that's why it's in whatever this is today. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But for me, the dentist. We've talked about the dentist a lot and how they want to pull 3 of my teeth, right? The ones here that have less gum on them. These 2. Well, that was the one that's wiggly. This is the one that's perfectly fine. They're like, we should pull that one too. And then that one back there that is all whatever, because the wisdom tooth that came in behind it and then subsequently fell out made that one a little wiggly. I will say, okay, y'all know I did that deep cleaning, the root planing, I think is what they called it. And then they did the PRP. My brain is like PCP. I'm like, nope, pretty sure that's a drug. The PRP, the something, the platelet, something. I don't remember what it's called, but where they do the thing where they draw your blood and then they spin it around in this machine and they like sort it from the fat in it or something. I don't know. I'm making things up as I go because I don't really remember how it went. They do whatever. And then when they're done with the deep cleaning, the scaling or whatever it's called, they take the pieces of the, what is it called? The something that's in the blood vial, and then they put it like up in your gums, okay? And they say that's supposed to help strengthen things. I will tell you, as much as I don't really trust the dentist after everything that transpired the last time when he was like, hey, we need to pull 3 teeth and also want to buy a whitening tray, whatever. Whatever they did seems to have worked because this tooth is not as wiggly and neither is the bottom one down here, okay? So then, after I told you guys about them wanting to pull teeth and y'all were in the comment section like, oh, hell no, girl, don't do it. Like, look into whatever, go see a periodontist, do all these things. I was like, okay, because I trust y'all and I listen to you. So I'm like, let me do some research and some whatnots, right? Because he said that he wanted to pull 3 teeth and then put some cadaver in my mouth and do a bone graft and all this other stuff. And so I started looking things up, okay? And here's what I have come up with. Ready? Remember how I went vegan for a while because, you know, I saw a documentary and I was like, oh, can't eat meat for a long time because Forks Over Knives and Food Inc. and What the Health and stuff like that really mentally, you know what, like bent me over and just whatever, could not eat meat for the longest time. And I went vegan. Well, while I was vegan for like almost 3 years, I did not do anything correctly. Not a single bit of research was done before just stopping meat. I didn't think about vitamins and minerals and any of that kind of stuff whatsoever. And then while vegan, my wisdom tooth started coming in because I think that the lack of all the vitamins completely just destroyed what was going on in my mouth, right? So then the wisdom tooth comes in. Well, when the wisdom tooth came in, I started chewing on the right side of my face, right? I only chewed on the right side. Then the wisdom tooth fell out and I still only chewed on the right side. Then some teeth shifted and this one slammed into one of these on the bottom and then became loose. So I continued to only chew on the right side. Well, after research, here's what I have learned. That if you don't use it, you lose it. Turns out by chewing only on one side of my mouth, the left side of my mouth thought that it wasn't needed. So it did not continue to try to produce bone or gum, basically. It quit doing its job over here because nothing was going into work, right? Like if I wasn't chewing on the left side, there was no need for my teeth to stay strong, my gums to stay whatever, the bone to stay strong, none of that stuff. It wasn't getting a workout. It was basically, the left side of my face basically atrophied is what it comes down to. So I was only chewing on my right side. Right side of my mouth, I don't have a single effing issue. Everything's hunky-dory over here. Over here, freaking war zone, right? And it has to do with the fact that I messed up. Like it's all on me, right? Because I made the wrong decisions over time when it came to my mouth. So I'm reading all this stuff and I'm like, oh, well, then let's find a way to fix it, right? So in essence, if I want to, you can't really regrow gums or any of that kind of stuff, but you can. Bone growth is different. It will solidify if I start using the left side of my mouth again, like start chewing over here. So now this is what I do because, you know, I'm still chicken shit with it because these two teeth are a hint loose. So now anything I start chewing on the right and I go over to the left once it's soft and I chew over on the left side of my mouth. And I could make so many disturbing jokes right now and I'm not going to do it. So I chew on the left side of my mouth. I was going to say before I swallow. And we're done. We're done. Look, it's fine. So so I'm trying to like basically fix my gums that way, right? Number one. Anyway, so then I don't know if you guys have ever seen Van Man. I look at his stuff on Instagram, right? And I told you guys about him before. He's him and his company. They are like all natural mouth stuff, body stuff, whatever. So I saw this stuff and I decided to order from them. Let me open this. It just delivered today. That's called great timing there. So I ordered this stuff. I can get it. These dang packing peanuts, man. Hold on. So my dog doesn't eat one. It turns out everybody uses these. Okay, so this is what I ended up ordering. All right, let me show you. Hold on. I don't know how well this is going to work. And this looks way bigger in pictures. Another joke could be made right there, but I will not. But if you look on their website, they have exaggerated the size. Okay, let me just put it to you like that. So this is what I ordered. Get the wrappy things off. This stuff here. Basically, it's this chew thingy for your mouth. It's supposed to help regrow everything. So it's chewing gum, but it is, I guess I probably should have pulled up the website to explain exactly what this is, but it's supposed to help with your bone growth, your gums, your teeth, like the enamel, the sturdiness, absolutely everything. And the ingredients, oh, we're going to have a whole nother conversation in 2 seconds. The ingredients, because I have to use my mom eyes, are, hold on, chickly gum, whatever that is, mastic gum, organic xylitol, which a lot of people are like, ooh, it's bad for you, only in certain aspects. This isn't man-made, this is organic. Grass-fed cattle bone hydropotata, and organic peppermint extract, okay? So basically, you're supposed to chew these, and it's gonna help you with your teeth and your gums and the bone inside your mouth. Nope. And then, so I got that, right? The other one I got is this here. This one here. This is the Miracle Tooth Powder, right? And so it's got, good lordy mother, I can't see nothing. It's got I don't know. It's got some stuff in it here. Maybe y'all can read that because my eyeballs cannot, which leads me into what we're going to get into in a second, and reading glasses. But anyway, that's what's in it. And it's going to taste like absolute dog shit. I already know. What I don't love is that because of California, they have to put this warning on the bottom, which comes on like every single thing that's manufactured in California, I believe, or that is sold in California, the cancer and reproductive harm, P65 warning, blah, blah, blah. But this instead of toothpaste, because this has no fluoride. So this is supposed to help, right? You know what? We might as well, since we're standing here together. It does not smell good, in case anybody's curious. It does not smell good at all. This thing is tiny. Anyway. Oh, okay, hold on. And you're supposed to chew it on the, it's really hard to chew. I don't know how it's gonna be beneficial to my teeth. Hold on. Maybe, oh, awful. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't do this with the loose tooth side. It's not good. I know it sounds really gross when I'm chewing this, but ew. And it's like actual gum. You know, it just tastes like I'm chewing rubber. But it's like real ingredients, so yay. Right? Ugh. Ew. There's no way I can chew this with the loose tooth area. It feels like a really bad idea. So I'd have to chew in the back between like two teeth or on the right side, which defeats the purpose if I chew on the right side, right? I can't. That don't work. Chewing with your front teeth like a bunny. It seems like a bad idea. I don't know how I feel about this right now. Okay, well, this will be a tester. How about that? This will be the test chew because I feel like when it hits this tooth right here, that right there, I feel it doesn't wiggle, but it feels like I'm worried that my tooth is going to get stuck and it's literally just going to pull it out. And I know that's not even a possibility, but that's what it feels like. So we're just going to, it's not ladylike to spit on camera. So we're not going to, once the initial like little 5.5 seconds of flavor goes away, it's literally like you're chewing on a piece of rubber, but it's supposed to be beneficial for like jaw strength, your bones, your gums, your teeth, your everything. My tongue's not very happy with it. Ugh. But anyway, we're going to try that. So this is what happened. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So this will be like a tester. I know what it felt like today chewing it, right? So I'll use this kind of stuff, and then I have the hydrogen peroxide and the water and the baking soda. Okay, we're gonna do that too. I've been doing that for a couple of days. So we're gonna use this and those, no more fluoride stuff. My water doesn't have fluoride, especially Florida. I mean, Governor DeSantis, he made it so that no water sources, municipal water sources in Florida can have fluoride in them anymore. So that's a plus. My city didn't have it to begin with, so that's even better. So I don't have to worry about that. But I guess maybe in another week or so, like maybe once a week. I don't know how long these really truly last, but maybe once a week I'll chew one of these and see if it feels any different. Like I feel like that's the only way I'll really be able to know if anything is doing anything, right? So we'll in conjunction do these two things together. All right, so here's what happened. We went to Barnes & Noble, which is, we're gonna get to that in 2 seconds. But I wanna tell you, while we're at Barnes & Noble, remember I told y'all I went and got my eye exam? Well, the kid and I got eye exams however long ago so that I could order contacts because I was out of contacts, right? And they needed me to have a new eye exam. And when I was in there, the eye examiner, he was like, oh, we're not going to change your prescription just yet. He goes, I don't want to do it just yet because, you know, then it's going to put you in, you're probably going to need readers or bifocals or whatever else. And I was like, I will murder you. I am not even 44 yet. Don't do this to me. So then he was like, no, you're close, but you're not there yet. He goes, or you're right on the cusp of it, but you'll be fine without it. And I was like, okay, good. Leave my prescription the way it is. And he did. So we're at Barnes & Noble's, the kid and I, and the man, but he's over in the magazine section sitting down because, you know, guys. So he's over there looking at magazines and stuff. Then he sends me a picture of a magazine, which is hilarious, okay? He sends me a picture of a magazine and it's just titled perimenopause. Like that's the big word on the magazine. But he didn't realize that the one right next to it literally said Jesus. And so I sent it back to him and I circled both. I'm like, Jesus, perimenopause, because that's how my brain read it, right? But anyway, I thought it was funny. So the kid and I are looking at something. I don't remember what we had in our hand. We had a book. We were looking at some book and she wanted me to read something. And I was like this, okay? I was like this. I was like, you know, trying to figure out like, where do I hold this thing to be able to read it? And I look up and I realize I'm standing right next to the little spin thing of the little reader glasses. The lowest strength, I guess is the right word, that they had was 1.75. I had my contacts in that day, not my glasses, right? So I had my contacts in and I'm like, I can't figure out where to hold this book. And I can feel myself doing this. You know that face you make? I don't know why this is what we do when we can't see what's happening and what. So I'm doing this and I was like, oh, shits and giggles. Let's just see what it does. I put on the 1.75 and immediately I was like, nope, that's too strong. Because I felt a little like immediately like nauseous with it. But I was still holding the book and I had them on and I went like this. I looked down and I said, holy shit, I can read everything. So now I need readers because man, it made a difference. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a pair of readers. So then I had the kid look up the lowest strength you can get. And I think she said the lowest was like a +1. So we're probably going to go to, my mother-in-law mentioned Dollar Tree, I think has them. So probably going to end up hitting up Dollar Tree later today. We're supposed to go to a movie, the man, the kid, myself, my mom, and we're supposed to go see a movie later tonight, a scary movie, I think. And I might be like, hey, let's pit stop at, Dollar Tree or Dollar General or whatever and get this +1 on a reader and see what it does, because it literally made such a difference. I didn't have to hear anymore. I was just like, oh, I can read. I can read. And while part of my brain is going, this is amazing. Why have you waited so long to figure out if you needed these? And the other part of my brain is going, son of a bitch, I can't believe we need these. Like it was like that war that goes on, the one on your shoulder, the other on your shoulder, just fighting each other. That's what I felt like about how I felt about needing readers at this point in my life at 43. And then the kid was like, well, if you don't want to be a nerd, her words, not mine. She goes, if you don't want to be a nerd, just get one of these. And she picks up a magnifying glass, the handheld magnifying glass. And I was like, ma'am, do you not understand that it's 10 times worse for me to sit there with, hold on, let me get my magnifying glass so I can read. I would rather put the readers on because they're cute, number one. And if I'm wearing contacts, it just looks like regular glasses. Nobody has to know they're so I can read, right? Right. So then there was that. But then she saw these ones that are like I don't even know what century they're from, where they were like super popular or whatever, but they're the kind that let's not stab myself in the face either while we do this, but it's the kind that like you hold it up that has the handle on the side and then you're like this, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like the little, I don't know what they're called, but they had like 2 or 3 of those. She goes, you could get one of these and just carry them around like this. It reminded me of the little face mask things that you carry in front of your face for, what is it? In New Orleans, what's it called? There's a thing in New Orleans. I don't remember what it's called, but for that. Anyway, I thought about those. And so that's where we are. Now, the reason we were hold on, I hear noises. Ow, my pants got stuck. I hear something backing up. It's not a garbage truck. Delivery people already came. That's how I have the van man thing. Dog's not losing his mind. So I guess it's not a big deal, but I can hear that beep, beep, beep from the backup. Our neighbors are getting work done though. So maybe it's that. Anyway, so we went to Barnes & Noble. Let me explain to you what happened at Barnes & Noble, because y'all, when I was younger, we've had this conversation. Y'all know, when I was younger, I used to love reading romance novels. Judy Devereaux, Nora Roberts, Jana Ivanovic, and some other whatevers, right? And at, 14, 15, and 16, you're reading these books where they're like, his throbbing member, you rubbed against her, blah, 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 her heaving bosom. And you're like, oh, this is erotic, right? At 14, 15, and 16, you're like, hey, smut, like, what you doing? You little hoe bag, what are you reading? Times have changed. Oh, so, and here's the irony of this. You go into the Barnes & Noble, you go in the front door. To the right, you have a little Starbucks knockoff, whatever kind of thing, right? And then to the left, you have the checkout, and you go down, and it's all those, the books they want you to buy, like in the first little aisle on tables. It's the buy one, get one, whatever. It's the newest releases. It's the whatever. Then you have, you get to the little desk where they can help you if you need help. It's the people that work there can help you if you need help. And to the right of that is Bibles and religious everything. And then to the left of that is your fiction and your romance and your young adult and your whatever else, all on this side, separated by a couple tables in the middle of random books on them. Some of those books might be gardening and crochet and crafting. And you're like, that makes sense to put right next to religion. There's no weird segue from, Jesus to gardening. That makes sense to me. So I'm standing over there and I'm looking amongst some books. I'm looking at some books, Barnes & Nobles. And I have one in my hand that I'm about to buy, that I want to buy. I'm Googling it. I'm doing reviews on it. I'm looking at it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this book. And I'm holding this book in my hand. I'll show you what it is in a second. I'm holding this book in my hand. And my daughter is at the table of books directly next to me. I'm standing here where the Bibles are. She's standing here at a table of books. And she opens up a book and she does this. She goes, okay, and starts cracking up and then puts the book down. But her hand is still in the book, okay? Puts back on the table and looks at me. And I look at her and she goes, you have to read this. And I can already tell that this is something that I do not have to read, but hold on. I should not read, but now I have to read it because her laugh, her face is red, and whatever else. So she hands me the book. She goes, just read this page. And she hands it to me just like this. She hands it to me just like this. She goes, just read this page. Here's, because I don't know how far we can go over here. I mean, I'm very, vocal, and I tell you guys a little bit of everything, and I've said bad words, and we've talked about all kinds of stuff, but man, what I read made me blush, y'all. And I have been fornicating. Like, I am a fornicator with my husband. Wait, is that the right word? Wait, fornicate just means have sex, right? Right? Or is that the bad one where it's like not the right word? I thought fornicate just meant have sex. Now I'm second guessing that word. Okay, so my husband and I clearly have sex because we have a child, and we've been doing this for very many years with each other, okay? Sex is nothing new. We've seen things in movies. I've read things in what I thought were smut books at 15 and 16, right? I've seen squiggly things on TV when you're younger and you're trying to scroll through channels, with the twist dial or the whatever else, and you hear, and you're like, whoa, what is that? And so of course you back up and you're like, oh, there's a nipple, and you can't figure out what's going on. And then your mom comes in and you're like, all right, change channel, that kind of thing, right? My child hands me this book, and mind you, I have a book in my hand and I'm standing by the Bibles and I'm holding this book, and she gives me this book and I put it on top of this book and I open that book and I read the first couple lines on that page in that book. And everything in me knows that that's not what happened, but I swear this book got hot in my hand. And I was like, nope, I don't want to read any more of this. The book, two men, okay? And this is one of those things of what you do in your bedroom to stay in your bedroom. For some reason, somebody decided to write it out as a book, not put any warning labels on this table at all, and just stuck it right next to young adult section. So my young adult daughter opens up this book and it's talking about how, I'm going to give you TMI because that's what we do over here. Okay, I gotta figure out how to phrase it without making myself blush. It's talking about how the guy who's, I'm guessing in the back, is telling the guy who's probably on his face, that don't worry, it will get easier. And it's going to hurt the first time. And it's only because the bottom one is so tight and the standing up one is so big. And there was just so much. And I was like, but the name of the book, you would never know this is what was going on. The cover of it had flowers, like flowers. You would not know. And then you're going to have some kid pick it up and start flipping through and get to just. So that was interesting. And then the girl that works there, lady, she said she's 30. In her 30s. I don't know if she said she is 30 or she's in her 30s. There's a 3 there somewhere. She comes over and she starts talking about how she loves all these authors on this table and how great they are. And then the book that we just happen to be looking at going, what the, right? She goes, oh, that's one of my absolute favorites. I love that book. They're so, how did she say? Not provocative, descriptive. Now I remember what word she said. But I remember the word she said, my brain going, I feel like that should be a warning on these books. I am not a prude. Y'all know I'm not a prude, and I'm not against, people getting their rocks off however they want to. I mean, whatever. And you want to read it in a book, that's fine. But it was next to the Bibles, next to the young adult section, had no warnings anywhere on it. Nowhere did it say that it was for a certain age or over. I was not okay with it at all. And the girl, she was like, oh, this one's good. There's other ones though that, depict more of a not willing scenarios, or not willing, not agreed upon, or what, another word for like, grape minus the G, those kind of things. She's like, a lot of these books have that in it. She goes, I'm not a fan of that kind, but some people like reading about that. And I'm like, the hell is wrong with people? Like, what the crap? Anyway, So we put that down and quickly went back over to the Bible section. I was like, girl, pick something up and just start reading. So she picked up the Bible and started just looking through it. But this is what I ended up getting for myself. And after that, I was like, we really need this today. So I ended up getting this, okay? Because y'all know I've been trying to kind of figure out everything, right? And I've got my Bible. I've got the Candace Cameron Burr one that was sent to me. And I asked my mother-in-law questions. We look a little bit at everything. I've been reading over everything. But I was like, y'all have told me where to start. And so I've tried to start in John, and I get going, and then I'm like, it's hard for me still. I need a little bit more, but then it becomes like really overwhelming for me also. Like I feel like I need to do a ton in one day and just understand it all immediately. And I'm like, that's unfortunately not how my brain works. So I went with this one, right? And it's the Bible recap, and it's by this lady. What's her name? I looked her up, and everybody said she's great. Tara Leigh Cobble. So I got this one, and it literally, it starts on day 1. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. So day 1, you read Genesis 1-3, and then you go through all this. After you've read Genesis 1-3, you go through all this, and it kind of helps explain it to you, what it says, break it down for you. And then you do a little bit every single day. And then that way you understand better, or at least from what I gather from it, to have less anxiety over it, because it's a anxiety inducing like thought process. I don't know if that's the right word though, but I know it's different for everybody, right? Like obviously it's different for everybody, but I know for me that I keep seeing little things that we'll call God winks, right? I keep seeing these little things. I'm like, okay, I really want to fully understand it. And I've heard people say, oh, a lot of people just read whatever the popular passages are and then go from that, or they look for whatever it is that they want in a passage to basically give them, what's the word? Like confirmation of their feelings of whatever they're feeling that day, something like that, right? And so I was like, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to look for something specific. I want to be shown. I feel like that's a better way to really truly like understand everything. Because if you're constantly looking for it, then you're already going to have like a biased opinion on what you're looking for, or you're going to miss certain things because you're looking for one specific thing. But if you let it be shown to you, I feel like it's easier to then not miss anything because it's not being excluded from your sight. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So that's where I'm at, is with this. Now, I told you guys about what happened at one of our favorite places that we go to with the gentleman that was having trouble. I thought he was hit by a car, but maybe it was something else and all that stuff. And that was like a massive, like, felt like being tapped on the shoulder kind of moment. Well, we went back to that place day before yesterday, on Saturday. We went back on Saturday, and one of the girls that works there, she's 20 years old. And I was ordering something to drink, and I was telling her, I was like, hey, you might not want to hear this, but I said, I feel like you would like to hear this, right? And so I told her kind of how I felt about everything that day and what it did for me and whatever. And you could see in her face and in her eyes and hear in her voice, her genuine like excitement for me and her genuine happiness that I had that moment. And it's weird because a lot of times, you tell people good news. You're like, hey, we're moving, or hey, we're having a baby, or hey, I got promoted, or hey, we bought a house, or any of these kind of things. And people are like, cool. But you don't a lot of times see or hear like genuine excitement for you. A lot of times you see or hear how they feel about your news, right? So when I told her, and I could see her genuine excitement and happiness, like for me, it was a different kind of feeling. You know, I'm sure y'all know what I mean. Either way. And then it was just more of a confirmation for me that I am searching for the right things, or waiting to be shown the right things would probably be a better word for it there, or phrase for it there. But anyway, so that was that. And it made me very happy. So I have the book. Gonna go get the readers because these aren't little. I can actually read this one. But this one, y'all know, these little words, I'm like, hello. So I might need my readers for this, which I feel so weird saying my readers for this. But this one's still like the prettiest Bible I've ever seen in my entire life. I absolutely love it. Anyway, so that's that. So then the other thing, off topic of anything, because now we're on no random talk or only random topics. I think I told you guys we went to World Market. Is it World Mart or World Market? You can leave it in the comment because I don't know. World Market. That feels right. I'm trying to visualize it. We went to this one in Panama City, right? Weeks ago when we went to Top Golf with the kid and her friend. And while we're in there, I think I showed this to you even. I don't even know if I did, but I saw this stuff, right? And I was like, okay, well, I like green tea and I like blueberry. Why not get whatever this is, the super fruit tea? But this is the Republic of Tea, right? And then it's China green tea with blueberries and natural flavor. I made the first one yesterday, shits and giggles. I pulled out, look, I have some from this morning too. I pulled out my Thankful Fall cup because 60 degrees this morning. Yesterday it was chilly as well, but because it rained yesterday, today is nice and cold, like seat warmer, hand warmer, heat on, even though the windows were down this morning with a sweatshirt on because I love cold wind, right? Anyway, so I made one of these yesterday. Stupid good. So friggin' good. Like you can so I make it hot, right? I read this thing that said, don't boil the water, do it to like 200 degrees, which is still higher than you're supposed to do for green tea. So I did it to 200. I poured it over there. I let it steep for like 3 or 4 minutes. And I took the little bag out, which they look like little discs. Hold on. They're like that. They don't have like the string or anything on them. They're just little discs. It smells so good. So I put that in the cup and I let it sit for a couple minutes. And then I took the bag out and I threw it away. And then I drank some while it was blazing hot. Burnt my mouth just a hint. And it tasted so good. Then I forgot about it for a minute while it was cooling off. And I went back when it was kind of like lukewarm. And it tasted so good. And then I got busy. And then I went back to it when it was cold. Even better. Like the whole time. So I made this one probably hour and a half ago. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. And I can't even explain why, because it's like, it's stronger flavor than like just your regular green tea. But maybe it's because it's the only one I've ever had with blueberry in it. And blueberry really is like my favorite like undertone flavor of anything besides watermelon. Those are my 2 favorite undertone flavors. But this is so stinking good. Now, what's interesting to me is if I drink black tea, it'll give me heartburn. Green tea, if I drink too much of it, like if I go get a venti iced green tea from Starbucks, I will have heartburn later. This has not given me heartburn. I don't know if blueberry cuts that out at all, or maybe because I didn't drink enough of it. But this stuff, if you have any place near you that sells this kind of stuff, I know Whole Foods sells the Republic of Tea, and there's the stores like, there's this one at Destin Commons that is like a whole tea store. But any stores that sell this kind of thing, try it. I'm telling you. It's delicious. I could add ice in here and be perfectly happy and not need anything else. It is ridiculously good. And this is after chewing this whatever. That says a lot about this tea. That's all I'm going to say. But this is absolutely delicious. So then, after this, my bestie, who lives next door, she comes running out. And she's like, hey, when are you going to wash your hair again? I was like, girl, I don't even know. I actually have an appointment on Friday to go get my hair like more little blonde pieces put in because I'm feeling all brown again. So a couple more blonde pieces put in. My hair's a little dirty right now. I need to wash it tomorrow, which is what I was going to wait for. But she gave me this to try. This thing looks massive and it's heavy, but it's Dyson because I was telling her how, I suck at drying my hair. So she says, I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these. There is I don't remember how she told me this works because there's like a hot button and a cold button and then like the fan speed. And you can hold it above your head like this as a hair dryer, or how did she tell? You can use it as a flat iron. So it's like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. I don't know, but I'm going to try this thing out later because I'm very curious how this one works. Cause it just looks like a flat iron, but it's like a hair dryer flat iron. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one, the Dyson one. If you've got it or seen it or used it, let me know how it works. I'm going to attempt it tomorrow. But this thing looks real, like sturdy, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna try that tomorrow. The other thing I'll be trying is one of these. Look, I have a tendency lately to not be able to sleep to save my life. Whether it's because my husband is snoring, scratching his leg in bed, I don't know, or I just can't get comfortable. And I keep putting my arm to sleep. The way I lay on my side sometimes, I put my arm to sleep, and that's what wakes me up because I've lost all feeling in my arm. But I also wake up a lot of times with like puffy eyes and whatnot, probably from the insane lack of sleep that I get. So I figured I would try one of these because it's got the cooling gel beads, because I have like those water-filled glass things that you're supposed to put in the freezer, and then when you get ready, you're supposed to run them across your face and whatever else. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for that. So I feel like I'll just put this in the refrigerator and then just smack it on my face. I don't know if while I sleep or like the next morning or whatever, but it says sleep mask, cooling gel beads this side, soft plush fleece on the other side, and then enhanced with cooling gel beads to soothe, comfort, and help prevent puffiness, which is exactly what we need. So I'm going to try this thing out. I guess it's double whatevered, so you can sleep with it. Yeah, so you can sleep with it this side. I have makeup on, so I'm not gonna put it on. That'd be nice and soft. And because of the beads, it's got a little weight to it. I don't know if you guys have one, but I have a weighted blanket. Man, I love that thing. Every once in a while, it feels good when you're having like weird anxiety or whatever to have a little weighted blanket on you, right? So use that in conjunction with this, but I can already tell like this would, let's put it on my forehead for a second. Yeah, I can tell that's gonna feel real good across your eyeballs. It's better than trying to cut up some cucumber and slap it on your face, right? So I'm gonna try this. If you guys have ever done these kind of things, let me know if it actually works or if I'm just hella gullible in buying these. And second gullible purchase, socks. I hate socks. They are prisons for your toes. Toe prisons is how I call them. I do not like them. I cannot wiggle my toes. The kid's friend was laughing at me because we were talking about it on the way to the movies Saturday night. And somebody said something about not wearing socks, and she goes, that's gross. I was like, girl, I never wear socks with my sneakers. I spray the crap out of the inside of them. I swap out the inserts in them. I do not wear socks. I hate socks. I'll wear them with cowboy boots. And I will wear them with, that's it. I hate socks. And I get really dry feet because of it. So let's just have that whole conversation. My heels get dry because I don't put lotion on my feet because then I'm slippery everywhere I go. So I don't put lotion on my feet. And I hate socks, but I will wear them around the house because then they're not in shoes also. The second you put your foot in a sock and then put it in a shoe, it's like a straitjacket for me. The anxiety my whole body feels it. I can't do it. I hate socks with shoes. Socks by themselves, perfectly fine as long as they are fluffy, comfy socks and not really tight ones that are designed to, piss me off. So then I see these things, right? And these are, what do these things say they are? Aloe moisture, aloe socks, okay? It says they're infused with natural aloe vera and vitamin E, and it's supposed to, in theory, what does it say? It does. Infused with natural aloe vera and vitamin E, these super soft socks continuously moisturize while surrounding your feet in plush comfort. But then it says for best results, massaging your favorite foot lotion before slipping on the socks to leave feet feeling soft and smooth. So I'm like, babe, I'm gonna need you to put some lotion on my feet because I don't want to do it. It's not nearly as much fun when you lotion your own feet. It's better when somebody else does it for you. So I'm gonna attempt that. So if I'm not gonna wear socks during the day, and I'm not gonna wear them at night because my feet get too dang hot, I will wear these while we like hang out on the couch or whatever, and hopefully it will keep my feet softer. Maybe mentally change my thoughts on socks. I seriously doubt it though. I hate them, but I got some of these because I touched them in the store and I was like, oh, they're so soft. They don't smell like anything, which I guess it's weird to be sniffing socks on camera, but they haven't been worn. Therefore, that's not that weird. What else we got? Oh, and God dang it. I keep getting stuck on the handle here from my pants have like a pocket and I keep getting stuck on the handle. All right, last thing, I promise. I got new shampoo and conditioner. I've been getting all my shampoo and conditioner at Target and Walmart and places like that for the longest, and then can't figure out why my hair is shit, especially now that I put bleach in it, with the highlights and whatnot. The herbal essences is nothing. It does not do anything decent at all. So I got some real shampoo and conditioner that's supposed to help. I got some anti-breakage. So Matrix is what the girl Rachel uses on my hair at the hair salon, and it smells divine. The kid got the green curl one for her hair. No, moisture one for her hair when we were there last time. And I was stuck between getting one for moisture, right? Like, how do you know which one to get for your hair? Like, I need moisture, I think, because the ends feel dry to me. But then my hair gets like oily really, really quick. So maybe I don't need moisture. And then I was like, well, I could get the one for curly hair, but then what about the days where I want it straight? And then they had one for blonde hair. And I'm like, well, no, I could use purple shampoo for that. So then I saw this one and I'm like, anti-breakage. That feels like the accurate option for me, because when I wash my hair and I use the purple shampoo, it's basically like, I don't know, it's not like re-bleaching it, but it definitely, you can tell that it affects the hair, because then when you run the comb through it, it pulls little pieces out, right? And I'm like, okay, a little less of that would be amazing. So this is supposed to make it more elastic. I don't know if it's good or bad. Make it more elastic so you have less breakage. So fingers crossed this stuff works, or else I'm going to end up being bald by the time I'm 50. So that's that. Yeah. I guess that's that. I told you everything. Oh, I will tell you, I'm very proud of myself. I only steal like 1 or 2 pieces a day. I should do 0. I'm fully aware that 0 is the number we're supposed to do. But then you walk by and you're like, man, that Butterfinger's calling my name. They're itty bitty. They're itty bitty. So 1 or 2, still very bad, and I should not do it. But after I stop this, I'm probably going to eat a Butterfinger. So anyway, y'all, I love y'all immensely. Thanks for hanging out with me. Has anybody ever used, maybe you haven't used this one, but maybe you've used something like it. I would like your thoughts and opinions, pretty please, if you don't mind letting me know your thoughts on the way I'm attempting to go about this to either not make my life easier, because that sounds stupid, but make it easier to understand and maintain. I think that's the word I want to go with. Anyway, that's all. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.